Hello, BCU volleyball fans. Game week here at Moore Gymnasium. We're set for the home opener. That's this Friday against the Florida Gulf Coast Eagles, and then we turn right around hosting the FAU Owls on Sunday. I'm Nolan Alexander. This is the head coach of the Bethune-Cookman Wildcats, Brittany Williams. Coach, you're back at Moore Gym. Your team is back on the court. I know we had some time off. How's the team responded?
They responded really well. Yesterday was our first practice in 14 days.
Wow.
So it's been a while. They were all happy to be back together, of course, happy to be back here on campus, and just happy to be back in the gym. You know, we had a lot of goals that we set in preseason, and we were at a great point in week 2, and we were rolling and had some great wins and won our first tournament at Georgia Southern's tournament. And so it was kind of deflated the team to know, okay, now we've got to go back home, and now we kind of feel like we're starting from scratch, but they're ready to work hard and ready to get back to where we were.
How was communication amongst the team with those 14 days off?
It was great. You know, we were just updating them every day, everybody checking on each other. We still had some athletes that were in the Florida area because that's where they're from. Mm-hmm. And so just, you know, being mindful of their families that were still here in the path of the storm and, you know, just keeping that camaraderie with everybody. And just, you know, I think they were so used to seeing each other every day that they still just talk to each other all the time.
I know with Hurricane Matthew last year, there were some similarities in the situation. However, there's a great many freshmen on this year's roster. How have they handled it?
They were scared at first. You know, they hadn't been through this before. Last year, the team actually evacuated together. So we were on the road for 11 days. And so this year, it was the reverse of that because the weekend that we were heading into for USF's tournament, it got canceled due to the storm. So, you know, we felt it best to just go ahead and send the team to a safe location. So all the girls, some went home, some went to teammates' houses. But for our freshmen, I think for them, it was more of a freak out for their parents, you know, just an uneasy situation. And I can understand from a parent's perspective, if I can just bring my kid home and have my eyes on them, you know, I'm going to feel a little bit better because most of our kids live in states where they're not affected by stuff like this.
Now, you mentioned earlier you picked up the first tournament win, bashing the Borough against Georgia Southern and Charlotte, 2 wins to start out that tournament. And, Coach, I think I remember seeing a picture that you put out on Instagram or Facebook where you took a screenshot of your first year here and where you started against Georgia Southern and then the final score winning that tournament. What were you most proud of your team that weekend?
They pushed. You know, they were able to live scout Georgia Southern. And they are an impressive team. And, you know, so we knew we had our work cut out for us going into it. And they had their home crowd. And they just said, we're going to turn their fans into our fans. And that's what they did. By the end of the match, you know, the people at the scorers table to the students that were in the stands, you know, they were cheering for our kids. And they cheered them on also the rest of the weekend. So that was really huge for us. It's something we've never done before. And so they went in saying, hey, let's set a goal for this weekend. Let's try to win this tournament. And even after our Georgia Southern match, they were like, okay, we got to finish this last one, you know, so we can win the tournament. And we didn't tell them that we had already won the tournament at that point, just because how people beat out each other over the weekend, the fact that we pulled out that 5-set win against Charlotte and then turned around and beat Georgia Southern. So for me, career-wise, I felt it was huge, you know, to take a team my first year where, you know, Georgia Southern had a solid team then. And, you know, we held our own for a set or two, but ultimately, you know, they prevailed in 3. And to turn around and go to their home court and beat them, so that was really huge. And it just shows the strides that we've made as a staff with this program.
This weekend, Florida Gulf Coast and Florida Atlantic both visit Moore Gymnasium, and Gulf Coast starts it out on Friday. What are you looking forward to with this match Friday night?
This will be our first match back in Moore Gym in a year. We did not play a single match here last season. Coming off of the first season here, going undefeated here at home in conference play. And so, you know, the girls just really have a sense of pride about playing here in Moore Gym. And, you know, it just has so much history to it. And so they're just excited because for half of our team, they've never played a collegiate game in this gym before. And so I think, you know, we're going to have those first match jitters, but I think they're excited to finally be back and then to also be back and start it off with a home match. So I think that's going to be great for us.
Any last words for Wildcat Nation as we close this interview?
Just hope to see everybody there, you know, first home match. So come out, support. All weekend, we'll be here.
You heard it right there. All weekend, BCU volleyball is in town taking on Florida Gulf Coast Friday evening and then FAU on Sunday. Coach, thanks for your time and good luck this weekend.
Thank you.
All right, Wildcat fans, we'll see you at Moore Gym this weekend.